I never thought I'd be that guy. The one with a story too raw for comfort. The kind of pain you usually see dramatized in films, not lived in real life. But life doesn't always unravel with chaos and screaming. Sometimes it collapses in silence, in subtle shifts, in unspoken betrayals that slip through the cracks when you're not paying attention. Alyssa was my world. We had been together for 6 years, and in that time, she became the axis of my entire existence. The house we lived in wasn't just bricks and wood. It was built with shared dreams and late-night laughter. Our future was supposed to be a joint masterpiece, every part of it painted with plans we made together. And Connor? He was like my brother. We'd grown up side by side, survived breakups, stupid fights, lost jobs, and celebrated wins like they were our own. He didn't knock when he came over. He didn't have to. He was family. He was my best man. And yet, that night at the backyard barbecue, something shifted. I caught them in a moment, one of those tiny moments that most people would miss. Alyssa was laughing, her smile wide and open in that way I used to think was reserved just for me. But her eyes lingered on Connor's face too long, and he leaned in too close. And when they noticed me, they pulled away too fast, too practiced. I brushed it off, told myself not to overthink. It was just a laugh, just friends, just heat and smoke and the haze of summer messing with my head. But then the space between Alyssa and me started to grow. Not suddenly, but gradually, like hairline cracks in glass. Her phone, once left casually on the kitchen counter, now never left her side. She angled the screen away when I walked into the room. Her smiles became mechanical, her voice distant. Connor, on the other hand, seemed to be everywhere and nowhere at once. He'd show up randomly, sometimes when I wasn't even home. His things started turning up, hoodie on the couch, bottle of bourbon left behind, sunglasses on the counter, each object a breadcrumb leading back to something I couldn't name but felt in my bones. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe I was just being paranoid. Maybe the stress of work, life, and everything in between was making me read into things that weren't there. But my gut never let up. It gnawed at me, restless and sharp, until one night, while Alyssa was in the shower, humming like everything was fine, I did the one thing I swore I'd never do. I picked up her phone. I wish I could say I found nothing, that I was wrong. But what I found gutted me. At first, it was innocent. Flirty jokes, old college nicknames Connor used to call her before I came into the picture. Then came the photos, late-night messages laced with intimacy. And then, the one that made the world stop. Last night was perfect. I wish she hadn't come home so early. I sat there frozen, the steam of the shower filling the hallway behind me, her voice singing like we weren't living in two different realities. My hands shook. My chest felt hollow. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just stood up, walked outside, and slept in my car that night, parked a block away with my thoughts screaming louder than any confrontation ever could. The next morning, I came home and pretended everything was fine. I made coffee, kissed her on the forehead, laughed at her jokes. But something in me had gone quiet, dead almost. I became a ghost haunting my own life, watching and listening, recording every moment. I took screenshots of the texts. I logged timestamps. I upgraded our home security system and installed new cameras without telling her. They never noticed. I was so careful, so cold. Then I planned the dinner. I told her I wanted an old-school evening. Just the three of us, me, her, and Connor. Like the old days, I said with a smile that didn't reach my eyes. She hesitated, but agreed. Connor showed up with a bottle of wine and his signature charm. I cooked. I played the playlist they loved. I laughed like nothing was wrong. And after dinner, I served dessert. 3 slices of chocolate cake and 3 plain white envelopes. One placed in front of each of us. "What's this?" Alyssa asked, laughing nervously. "Something fun," I said. "Let's open them together." On my count. Inside hers were screenshots. Every message, every picture, every secret she thought she buried. Inside Connor's was the same, plus a grainy image from a new security cam. Him slipping out of our bedroom at 1:38 a.m. while I was away on a trip. Silence swallowed the room whole. They didn't speak. Couldn't. Connor stared at the table. Alyssa looked like the floor had dropped beneath her. I stood up slowly. I know, I said. I've known for weeks. She opened her mouth, but no sound came out. Connor still wouldn't meet my eyes. You made your choice, I said, turning to her. Now I'm making mine. Then I left. No shouting, no begging, no second chances. That night, I checked into a hotel. By the end of the week, the divorce papers were filed. I blocked Connor from every part of my life. No confrontation, just silence. The kind of silence that marks a full stop and then a sentence that should have ended long ago. But my story didn't end there. In the ruins, I started writing. At first, just to get the noise out of my head. I shared pieces online under an anonymous name. And to my surprise, people found them. Strangers from all over wrote to me, sharing their own betrayals, their heartbreaks, their silent falls. They told me I had put into words what they'd never been able to say. Those posts turned into a podcast. That podcast became a platform. And that platform became something I never expected, a place for the broken to speak, to be heard, to be seen. Each week, I talked to people who were shattered, but not destroyed. People like me, people who rebuilt what they did nearly ruin me. But instead, they ignited something I didn't know I had, a fire, a drive, a voice. They thought they were ending me. What they really did was start something I'll never stop.